all the time. I was talking to Natural Tahuti, and I asked him a question. I said, listen, you see what Rod just showed? I'm telling you, it is impossible for 90 days for somebody to be laying chained up on a boat with, and I'm going to say this, poop, pee, and spit up. Okay. You go after a while, after 3 or 4 days, you're going to start getting bed sores. Okay. From laying on some hard wood. Who was going down there cleaning up all that? You see how close them people were? How they make it look?
Yep. But see that when I asked that question, they all got mad. One dude came on Sonetta team, told me they had a drainage valve at the bottom of the ship. I said bullshit, because nowhere in the blueprint do they show the drainage valve.
And listen, they go so much as to say, I said, well, how did all these people get over here from Africa? From Africa, how did thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years ago, the people, somebody said they walked over during the ice age. I said, when you ever heard of Africa being in ice? That don't even make no sense. They walked over. So, okay, if they walked over, when it started getting cold, they start feeling the cold over here. What they wrapped themselves in? What did they eat, drink, and all that when they walked over? That don't even make no sense to me. Just like the whole boat ride. Their bodies they'd have been halfway dead by the time they got over here. They'd have been dead. All of them would have probably been dead from the smell and the suffocation of the urine smell and the feces and all of that. It's just would have made you so sick that you would have just died.
You been on a cruise before?
Oh yeah, I just came off a cruise, and
okay. Hold on, slow down. Look, I want to go walk through this cruise for a minute, just to give people some understanding of what it takes to move a mass amount of people. Do you know how many people was on the cruise?
A lot.
The estimate?
I really don't know how many people, but it was hundreds. I do know that.
Okay, let's just say 500 people.
Okay.
Okay, now, do they got a full kitchen on the ship?
Yes.
And they got a full dining room on the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Who was cooking and who was running the mess hall for all these slaves? Who was chaining them and unchaining them for their meals? That's if they was using a modern cruise ship.
But that wasn't back then. They only had wooden boat.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. They didn't
even have what we have now. You can even look it up when the first ship was even made that ran by like how we have it now. You could look that up. They didn't have that back then.
The numbers don't match.
It does. And if you land on something that hard, try it now. Even when you sitting on like a stool and it's hard wooden, you got to put a cushion or something, because it'll start hurting you where you got to move around, and it just doesn't work. Your body don't work like that. It'll start breaking down.
Yeah.
It just don't make. I work with people with how bed sores start and all of that.
Yeah, great. Yeah, for sure. Dean, what were you saying? Sorry about that. Come on in, Dean.
I was just saying hello. I just
What's
wanted
up?
to ask
Hi, Dean.
my question to each one of y'all is, how y'all doing?
Fine.
Doing good.
Just sit back and eating the popcorn right now.
Okay, I'm just saying, you got to start making sense out of nonsense. It don't make no sense, and it ain't our information. I keep asking them, what did they do with the copper colored people that was on these lands when they came over here and stole the lands? I mean, listen, to a person that undone person, they look at us and they look at us all the same. Just like when we look at them as being all the same. Just like when we look at a Chinese, a Japanese, a Korean, or whatever. To us, they all look the same. We can't tell a difference.
The U.S. Census is a great document to get those answers about what did they do and how they classified or misclassified people. You know what I mean?
The paper genocide not even a secret, though.
Talk about how when they look at dark-skinned people.
No, it's not. You're right, right.
Yeah.
They just
It's
look at
because people aren't looking into the history into it at all, because they even have regulations of how many people can be on the ships, when people could be on the ships, how much food has to be on the ship and compared to people, meaning they were limited. And then you would have to know schooners and the ship details and routes to even really go into it. But the major thing is it's just belief. And when people have belief, they don't have to actually back it up with any kind of facts. They don't have to understand ships or anything like that. But Bad Hombre really wants us to address this question. So, Rod, I want to pose it to you. I'm sure you're familiar with the FBA. He said, why is FBA doing better than American Indians? Would you say that they are doing better than American Indians at this time?
Who?
FBA. He says, why are FBA doing better than American Indians?
I don't even, I don't know what that is.
same thing. I was saying the exact same thing.
Asiatic said that other slaves got extra food for cleaning up.
And she added,
That's
I seen that. I started laughing, almost choked.
you know what he said. What he said that for.
I knew exactly what Ron Hayes was talking about
I
with the
was
valve and
saying,
throwing down salt water to clean out the bottom. We ain't getting into that, or no yoga that they were doing on top of the ship. That's just crazy.
they told, but
Therese, you remember Kanye's workout plan on top of the slave ship?
I'm just saying, they talking about walking over
They
from
got extra
Africa.
food. Lord Jesus. I
It
done
took
heard it
90
all.
days on a ship to come. You talking about walking over from Africa? Oh my God. I'm just saying, what is in our mind?
That's the
That's the
pandemic.
same people. Listen, that's the same people telling you that a man walked on water.
Wait a minute, that's the same way they told us the white people come from
Wait,
black
wait,
people.
wait. Hold
Chinese
up, hold
people
up,
come
hold
from
up.
black people.
Rewind.
Everybody come from us. Oh my
Wait,
God.
Frida, one more time. Rod, say that one more time. One more
I
time,
said,
Rod.
then the same people that believe the man was walking on some water.
Okay, okay.
That is crazy. I mean, it gets so much as when, just like when the brother said, we all started from Africa. Who is we all? I mean, so that means you adding in everybody, because you know they got our minds so twisted that they think that nature couldn't make all these different races, that all the races had to come from us, and that we had to come from monkeys and Africa and apes. I mean, we really don't take time to think about the things that people are saying out our mouth, and they could tell us anything, and we will actually fight for the lies that are being told to us. It don't make no sense. But yet we say we believe in nature. It's just crazy to me. These people that don't look like us, don't smell like us, body structure different, hair different, everything different, but yet they come from us. Chinese people are short. You know what I'm saying? They got another different type of hair, different body structure. Everything is different about these people, but they all had to come from us. But yet we still look how we look, and they ain't coming from us today.
But you know the only common denominator in all of the people on the planet, right?
Huh?
Do you know the one common denominator in all of the people on the planet?
What is it?
The motherland.
Oh, wow.
Mitochondrial is the only broken direct descendant chain of DNA in the human body from the original people. And only through
I don't
mitochondrial.
know if there is an original people. I think everybody is their original to who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like the Chinese or Japanese or whatever them Asian type people are, they're original to their kind of people. Just like we are original to ours. I think that there are many originals, not just one.
But the motherland,
You would know.
the motherland is the only continuous chain of DNA
When you
passed
say the
from mother
motherland,
to
you need to
listen,
explain
passed from mother to daughter.
that. Right.
All of these differences that you speak of is coming through what they call a haplogroup of Y chromosomes. That means all of these different bloodlines of humans, even though they all mitochondrially related, difference comes in through the Y chromosome.
Okay.
And this is so wherever their daddies came from, all these people ain't got the same daddy.
Why does it take a European to come in to make these discoveries? And then, as a result of making these discoveries, we have this whole theory of everyone came from Africa. We evolved from monkeys and apes, right? No,
That's
I'm
like you
sorry.
said,
I
they
have
know how
questions.
Well, they
know
did
when
have a team that the
Oh,
Lewis team. Their team was Ethiopians. The first name wasn't Lucy. I forgot it was some Ethiopian name that they changed
They changed it.
later to Lucy. But the main thing is those bones were falsified. That they didn't walk upright. They showed as far as the
I
real
remember
bones,
that.
and Lucy was a monkey. That's
Right.
what Lucy was. And they just falsified the bones because the Royal Society needed that. The Royal Society needed the missing link. So Lewis was struggling money wise, and they were like, we not gonna give you money for a monkey. That's not what we need. We need the missing link. So what they do? Okay, falsify the bones, say we had the missing link, so
Right.
we can get this Royal Society money.
And they
Because that's
admitted
what
that
they
they
paid
did
us
that.
for.
They admitted that they did that. They admitted that they did that.
And as crazy as that
follow
story
money.
sounds, right? And as crazy as this story sounds, the one I just shared, because that's exactly how when they teach about the slave trade, how it was written in history books, right? It's a lot of that Mandela effect that you just mentioned, Rod. It's a lot of the watering down, and when you look at it, you're like, am I reading a novella? Am I reading a fairy tale? Like what? But this is what's being taught. This is what's being
I'm
taught.
just trying to figure out when less than 0.1% of the people was literate, how did all these slaves write narratives?
Okay.
Mm.
That part.
Yeah.
Say it again,
They
Rob.
just say whatever they want to say. But Bad Ombre, I know you're going crazy in the chat. But your question is very subjective. First off, you're saying you're wealthy and you're running circles around people,
Why he
which,
keeps saying that?
which could be true. You could be wealthy, but that doesn't mean you're running circles around people. You would need to know what everybody else is
And
making,
he
what
got time
everybody
to be
else's
on here for
salary
50
is.
hours.
And a lawyer, in comparison to somebody else's salary, might not be as much. You might be actually just doing bare minimum compared to what
Girl, you
someone
know
else
bad
is
all
doing.
great bullshit. Don't take
He's just like, so he can calm down on it because he like, why are we running circles and all this other stuff? Like,
don't know what
I'm
he
glad
keeps
you're
talking
doing
about.
well, but there's a lot of people doing well. That's just the facts of life. We're
Yeah.
not here.
Can I
People
ask
are
Rob?
doing well.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. If y'all want to see when the tribe gonna be doing well, just keep watching. It's coming. Cause
Can
we
I ask
back for
Rob?
every fucking thing they owe, and they just so happen to owe us everything.
Yes, they do.
And I was always taught that.
Everybody owe us.
But can I just say something?
Go
I
ahead.
was always taught that a nigga who's, excuse my language, I was always taught that a man who's doing well, they don't say they're doing well. You don't have to say that.
Oh,
I'm just saying
you do not. He do it every time he come on here.
every time.
attention because he want attention. Bad Ombre, sit down some damn well.
Okay, that's Big Mama. I tell you, sit down. Can I ask Rob here another question?
My mama told me class speak for itself. You don't have to argue
Right.
no point. From
That's
when you
right.
standing in, when you really got class, you don't have to argue it. It's gonna defend
It's gonna
itself.
show. That's right.
Yeah.
So, ladies, is it okay if I ask Rod another question?
Yes.
So, sir, I think what I want to know is that I know a lot of us have been in this paradigm for a long time. I know some longer than others. I mean, I would consider myself relatively new in this space, but I mean, it's been over a couple of years now. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. My question is, do you think with Trump being in office right now, do you think that we have a good, do you think that this is a good time where we can really push the information that we've been taught about who we are? Because I mean, I don't like when I hear him using African American and different things like that. So do you think that this political climate is ready for the Aboriginal paradigm in terms of the information, in terms of us being true to this land? I mean, in light of all the birthright citizenship things that are going on with that particular executive order, can you kind of speak to that a little bit? Do you think that this could be something that could be heard on a bigger national platform?
Well, they already soft disclosed it. They got different people making mention that the African American is the Indian. Certain senators and already said it out their mouth on in interviews. So they're getting around to it. Now they also recognizing tribes that was formerly not part of the Dawes Commission's recognition that was also part of the paper genocide. And ain't no time better than now for us to let people know who we are. The problem is these unapologetically African ass niggas that don't know they natives. That's the problem. If I don't mind them being African, but when they don't, they if you tell them to go to Africa, they gonna get mad at you. They say they're African, but they don't want to go to Africa. So ain't no time better than now. It's all coming out. And when Trump get done doing the accounting part, then they got to do the transfer of power part, and that's the part where everybody mouth gonna hit the floor.
And
Yeah,
for
thank
this
you.
transfer of power part, Rod, do you think it's important that people amass the documentation, or what do you think that people should really be gathering when they're doing like their genealogy or anything for their benefit and their family benefit?
Everybody should do the best they can, but a lot of us, like for instance, when I get to Magnolia, Mississippi, I can only go back to I think the 1930s before the church that all the records was in was burnt down. So trying to tell a person that's a victim of paper genocide to prove their identity is like trying to tell a dead man to prove who murdered them. But we know who we are from the oral tradition. All of us got somebody in our family that know who we are.
Yes, and that's a fact. And sometimes we let our grandparents live to be 90 something years old and never ask them any questions. Aunties, uncles. I have one aunt now that can tell me some stories because she now in her 90s. You know what I'm saying? Some that still knows stuff. You can't let them go get away now. You gotta kind of like interview them, ask questions. I'm telling you, they can go back. They can go back afar, but you can look up your stuff too.
And look, when you mentioned take care of the elderly used to get took care of at home.
What you say,
All
Bob?
the elderly used to get took care of at home. All this shipping people out to the old folks' home, that's some
Yeah,
new shit.
they used to. But
Because the teenage boys and girls used to take care of those senior citizens. And then the ones that's still around the house in their early 20s, they was the ones feeding them, you know, learning the history from talking to them. And this is why they poison everybody, giving us Alzheimer's and dementia. They don't want the old people telling the youth, but it's too late now because my big mouth that made sure that the kids got enough to go trace it down, and they coming back with all the receipts that they got more receipts than I got.
I'll be influencing people to look at some channels, that's gonna tell them the truth. Like once we start talking to them, that's why I try to talk to people every day, especially about because there's people who really think that they're African, but you're just not. But if that's what you're going to believe, I can't. Well, yeah, some of them might have some. I can't say all of them, but I always try to give the information that I know to try to make sense out of nonsense. And you know what they say to me? I never even heard it. I never even thought about that. I never. You know what? I'm trying to. And then they'll bring up some people who with the doctor in front of their names. I said, but they only going by what somebody told them to. They don't have no proof of it.
I have yet to find a firsthand account of a historical event.
Ugh,
All,
mean,
all of the historical events is somebody telling the story after the fact. It's
Yes.
hardly any history would say, yeah, while I was sitting in the room with Abraham Lincoln, he was telling me they don't have any of those. They don't have no first-hand accounts of history. All history is second and third-hand accounts referenced by fourth and fifth-hand, repeated by fifth and sixth-hand. No first-hand accounts. Everything is, even if you take the New Testament of the Bible, the Bible, the first four books, wasn't one of them written during the lifetime of this guy that they calling Jesus. According to the scholars that put the information out, they know that all this information was written 100 or more years later. But they telling the story like they was actually there.
Yeah. But that goes to show you the minds of our people too, that they would believe in something that they can't see. And then a man in the sky got a girl pregnant. I mean, it's just we got to really start thinking, start opening our minds and start thinking. And we don't do that.
Well, I don't know about no man in the sky, but a girl can get herself pregnant if she wants to.
No, but I'm just saying though, we really believe in this man in the sky that send these angels down and then got this little young girl pregnant. But listen, here's the part that God, you're not supposed to believe in was it when you married and messing with another man or whatever, but yet God can get Joseph's wife pregnant. That just, I just we not even thinking.
But Rob, we were doing so good. Yeah, she could get herself pregnant if she steal your sperm and got a turkey based.
No, seriously, Parthenogenesis is not a fiction. It's an actual thing.
Go there with it though. See, yeah, we talking now.
But I mean, it could have been a thing before, but you're saying in recent times that's still a thing that can happen. Well, and not from like a hermaphrodite that has both or something.
No, the women have all of the equipment to spark spontaneous mitosis in the cell. She got everything she needs to make a baby without a man. The problem is
they probably
as long as you don't know that, and then the woman's so out cold, and this is why these dudes be hating women so bad. The woman so out cold, she been had 50 sex partners, 51 she get pregnant, and she used genetic material from 50 niggas before him and don't use none of his to make the baby.
So she stopped piling to come. I mean, sorry, she stopped piling it.
Where is it stored? So you can store it somewhere?
In the Queen's Chamber of the Brain stores all genetic material of every man she ever been with.
I've heard of a woman getting pregnant and she like the sperm stayed in her because a woman can have a baby by two people.
What about the ones that I don't remember?
It's like 1%, but yeah, I know that.
I'm just saying, I don't know if it's 1% or 0.5%. I just know it can be done, and she could have two men's babies inside of her, and she had sex with the other guy like a week before time.
Right, because why it's so rare is because usually you're like being pregnant is usually like a birth control, like your body says that. So your body, if it doesn't produce twins or triplets or whatever right away, then it's like I'm pregnant already. We'll need to do that. But yes, there are times that doesn't work. That mechanism that whatever stops that, and she can be pregnant by two different men if she's sleeping around. But I don't know, Rod, about themselves and tapping into your brain. So say I wanted to get pregnant by myself. I like some candles, and then what do I do next?
I don't know. They was saying something about some gland that we had back when we were maybe stronger women. I think we had at one time it was two sexes in one body, so you had the ability to get pregnant, I guess, because
there's still a couple of species of animal on the earth that don't have no males. There's still a couple of species of animal on the earth that don't have any males.
I mean, I don't
No,
know
we
how
do
it happened,
though.
but I know it's been an
So,
argument about it.
how
Can
would
you pull it
we,
up?
now that we have males, because we have that, and you guys have the sperm, like, isn't that like mandatory now?
Hermaphrodites that got
No.
both sexes. You know, the hermaphrodites. And
Yeah, I get that. I said I
yeah.
brought that and with having both sexes, but he's saying just a woman can without a man. But it's like, how is sperm not necessary? Because sperm is what you need.
Sperm is what a man needs to give a woman in order for her to reproduce him, but it ain't what she needs to reproduce her.
Okay. Now that might be something that we might have to look into.
So if so, a woman can reproduce herself without sperm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at one time they were talking about that was
It's
able.
parthenogenesis. It's not even a foreign concept in genetics that parthenogenesis takes place. In order for it to be impossible, it won't be found nowhere in nature. In order for it to be possible, all you got to do is find it anywhere in nature. If it's anywhere in nature, it's possible.
Ben Saint said, I would be mad if I could get myself pregnant just by thinking about it. I would be mad too. I would be mad too.
Parthenogenesis and different, but I think every different species can do different things. I think it's biggest amongst plants, right? Or it might be at biggest amongst bacteria. One of those.
Animals, I think too.
Yeah, sea animals, but I think sea animals can be like reverse, where the male is the one that gets pregnant and the woman.
Well, they can change gender. If you get a school of all female fish, the most dominant female fish will spontaneously turn into a male. That's different.
But you're saying if any animal can do it, a human can do it, or we can do it.
But we are.
The possibility is present.
Yes, it is. I mean, I know you're not shocked that I done seen some things that has shocked me. They find it even in the sea now.
I've never seen a woman get herself pregnant.
Well,
I've seen her say it.
Have you ever heard of a woman?
I've seen her say it ain't nobody else but yours. And
listen, have you ever heard of a woman that
it's not? And then she's like, "Well, I ain't been with nobody else."
Yeah, but have you ever heard of a woman that keeps testing every man she been with, and none of them is the baby father? None of them.
Because they didn't test every man that she's been with, then because they haven't got to every man that she's been with.
I don't know. But when she was, I know one girl that was going all the way back. Because she couldn't figure out who in the heck she got pregnant by. Everybody.
So that means she was busting it wide open. Like,
I don't know.
She don't remember all her sexual partners. No.
But you got to also remember, she also got the capability of one of them getting her pregnant, and she don't use none of his genetic material.
I don't know. I'm not.
Well, this conversation is above my pay grade, but I know, Rod. Wait, hold on. But I know, Rod, when you talk about storing the memory of the men, of a woman storing the memory of all the men that she's been with. Let me just tell you, most women we don't want to remember. Some of them do not deserve any recollection or memory. I know nobody would have stored them. Okay, I'm just saying. That's all I got to say.
She was out there, black.
She's storing all the DNA.
If she bust that thing open and he squirted in there, she got his DNA.
All the DNA.
Very unfortunate.
And she just
ladies, keep them legs closed, okay?
Yes.
That's what the value of the virgin was, because the only way that you could guarantee it with your baby is to keep all other men away. That's what the whole big hoopla about a virgin is. Otherwise, it won't matter. But you can't be sure if she had a sex partner 10 years ago, then she get pregnant by you, she gonna use all of your genetic material. She might use some of yours and some of his.
But what if she had the sperm still in her? Because, like I was saying.
If the sperm, it ain't the sperm, it's the coding of the DNA that she saves. It's the DNA codes that his body's signature leaves with her. The mitochondria records all DNA activity in order to adjust for defects in order to correct the genome.
Mhm.
Ladies, that's right. Close them legs. Hey, Two Grand, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Shout out to the panel. Shout out
How
to
you
you,
doing,
ladies.
Two
Shout out to
Grand? How
Russ.
you doing?
It's some love.
I'm good. I'm good. Y'all always coming with some fire discussions. I want to give a shout out as well to Rod Hayes. My man always spitting some knowledge. Now, I like what y'all talking about. This Parthenogenesis is really something that I ran into as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. From the research I did, it's bone marrow, which is it's crazy because they say it's only found in the black woman, right? That has the ability to secrete semen through, I think it's the hold on a second, the parthenium gland. It's through one of the ducts. So I
Mhm.
kind of went in on it when I found out, but this is definitely something that was done way back when, right? This is look, man. We all know they lied to us, right? So definitely, this is something that our sisters was able to do back in the day. Now, this is coming from a man. I had to put my ego aside to be able to be able to say this now. So you know what I mean. This was definitely something that our women was able to do back in the day, and that got to be respected.
Do you think they can still do it today, Two Grand?
No, I don't think it can be done today. There has been too many changes along the generations where we're not like we used to be. We're not even breathing the same oxygen as we used to, from what I've come to find out. You know what
Yeah,
I
we
mean? The
used to
earth.
breathe straight ozone, double oxygen molecule.
Exactly. My man Rod Hayes, he's been spitting this stuff for years, and he always tells you, right, don't just listen to him, like go research it, right? And every time I hear something, I go back and I'll try to debunk it. And nah, back in the day, the air was different. Plants even growed back in the day. When they talk about Eden, it was truly here before we started to mess around with things. We truly had it good out here before we started messing with things. You know what I mean?
Numerous outsiders.
I have a
So,
question. I have a
so
question because science is not my forte, so I'm just curious. But like, would cloning, or something like stem cells and cloning be an example of parthenogenesis?
Hey, there's another name for it is spontaneous clone.
Okay.
When they
Okay.
tell you that you gave birth to your twin, if you have a parthenogenic birth, they'll tell you you birthed your twin that was in your uterus waiting to continue its gestation and try to act like poof, it just popped there. You 30